Hello everyone, Morgan Hibbs here with Linn County Farm Bureau. I'm so excited to be back with you virtually for another Ag in the Classroom lesson. Today we are going to learn about pollinators. Now, why are pollinators important? What do they help us do? Well, they say 1 out of every 3 bites is made possible because of pollinators. Pollinators help spread pollen from flower to flower to help us grow seeds and fruits and vegetables. Today we have a story for you called Achoo! Achoo! And it's a fun story about how pollen might make us sneeze, but it's so important. And in the story, we learn how to stay safe around pollinators, why pollinators are important to us, and some of the different kinds of pollinators. So I would like you to pause this video and go watch our story video called Achoo and learn about the different kinds of pollinators. Have a class discussion about what are the different pollinators that you saw in the story and how the pollen helped to create fruits and vegetables. Once you've watched or read the story, I would like you to come back and resume play. In our story, we learned about different types of pollinators. Here is a picture of just some of the different ones you might have seen in the story. We have the flower fly, bumblebee, honeybee, monarch butterfly, moth, lady beetle, bat, and hummingbird. These are just a few of the different kinds of pollinators. Now, pollinators help to create fruits and vegetables that we like. They also help to create so many different products that we use every day. Now, what would happen if we didn't have pollinators? Most of our food would also disappear. A lot of the food in the grocery store would not be there. We need pollinators to help pollinate the flowers so that we can produce fruits and vegetables and have seeds next year to plant. Now, sometimes we can be kind of afraid of pollinators. Bees, for example, and wasps have a reputation of stinging people. There are some ways that you can stay safe around pollinators. You can do your best to avoid the ones that sting. You can also make sure that you're not agitating those different pollinators like bees and wasps. And make sure that the wasp or the bees don't feel threatened. So you want to make sure that they know that you're not going to hurt them. So don't try to bother their nest or their home. Many foods and plants are pollinated with the help of pollinators. Now there are some plants that are pollinated by the wind. Corn, for example, is pollinated by the wind. Soybeans, on the other hand, self-pollinate. Some plants can pollinate themselves. But many plants need help from pollinators. Apples are also pollinated by bees and butterflies. Oftentimes when you visit an orchard, you might see beehives at the end of the rows. Some farmers will bring in bees during the season to help pollinate all of the flowers of the apple tree. To be able to have an apple, we first need a flower, and that flower needs to be pollinated. Today we are going to learn about the butterfly. The butterfly is a type of pollinator. Now the butterfly goes through a life cycle, and that life cycle transitions a caterpillar into a butterfly. So here we have the caterpillar life cycle. It begins with an egg. You can see the egg on the leaf here. Next we have a caterpillar. Can you say caterpillar? Once the caterpillar is ready to transition to an adult, it will go into a chrysalis. Here is a picture of a chrysalis. And once the chrysalis forms, the butterfly can start to take shape inside of the chrysalis. The caterpillar transitions into a beautiful butterfly. The cycle repeats itself because then the butterfly can lay eggs, which will then turn into a caterpillar. You can see how the cycle is going to continue. And butterfly. Okay, So since the butterfly is one type of pollinator, we are going to make a pollinator tube or a chrysalis for our caterpillar. So for this activity, you will need a popsicle stick, a butterfly, and you can draw or color on a caterpillar. This here is a piece of construction paper. You are going to roll it up and tape or glue, or if the teacher would like to staple, you can also staple. And here we are going to see, so here's the caterpillar on one side, or you can draw your own caterpillar. And then we have cutouts of the butterfly, and you can color this. You can see that the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, and it comes out a beautiful butterfly. So it goes into the chrysalis, it forms a chrysalis, and it comes out as a butterfly, and that's when it can start to pollinate flowers. Let's review with a true and false game. If it's true, put your thumb up. If it's false, put your thumb down. True or false, butterflies are a type of pollinator? True. True or false, bees are the only insects that pollinate? False. True or false, honeybees carry pollen in baskets on their hind legs? Now this we did not cover, but you might know it from other activities you've done in class. So do you think that's true or false? It's true. Name one pollinator that is not a bee. Well, today we learned about butterflies. Good. True or false, melons and kiwi fruit are pollinated by insects? What do you think? True. What part of the plant attracts the pollinators? So think about a flower. What part of the flower attracts those pollinators? The bright petals, the color of the flower. True or false, a hummingbird is a type of pollinator? True. True or false, insects often move pollen from flower to flower on accident? What do you think? This is actually true. True or false, bats and moths are considered pollinators? This is also true. And let's do one more. True or false, fruit and veggie farmers sometimes rent beehives to pollinate their crops? This is also true. Good job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed learning about pollinators and how important they are to agriculture.